So the other video got cut off because of the timing. So yeah, I was sharing the story of the Mahabharata, where it was shown that how much respect students have for teachers, because um, when somebody shares and transforms your mind in a dramatic way with new knowledge, then you pretty much are in debt to that person, and you have to. It's kind of like Godfather. You got to return the favor. There was a famous story of a forest dweller kid who used to spy on the teacher teaching his students, and then he became so powerful and knowledgeable because of the teachings. But in order to remember his teacher, he made a statue of him. But when the teacher found out that he had been spying and getting the information, he asked him for a favor for his pupil, a favor from his pupil, as is socially accustomed, and he asked for his thumb. And this made him a worse, less powerful warrior, because the teacher was trying to protect his own student and keep him on top. So he became a poor archer because he couldn't pull the bow and arrow without his thumb that well. But he became immortal too, as a perfect student. God, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. So the people who like to make fun of Christians, like I did also as a college student, living in the dorm, because we felt the Christians were acting like they were better than us, and they didn't want to be in our company, and we were trash. We didn't follow their way, so they didn't spend any time with us. So we were butthurt about that. So we dissed a Christian student called Bogdan, made fun of him and stuff. But we were deceived. I was deceived, I felt. After 2-3 years, I realized I cannot be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. So when you reap what you sow, then you realize that maybe there is karma and all that. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. That's true. Like I try to become rich and have a good job, so I could I could reap with my flesh. But instead, my flesh was destroyed, my bones were broken, and my flesh was corrupted by the work. But he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. That reminds me of before I was working, when I was just studying and meditating and trying to live a wholesome lifestyle, balanced lifestyle, health-wise at least, maybe not socially, but that's all good because society was degrading anyway. So from 2017, I reaped corruption of the flesh because I sowed to my flesh. But before, from 2012 to 2016, I sowed to the Spirit, so I'm still reaping that everlasting life. All the knowledge and all the wisdom I gained, I can prostitute myself on YouTube and hopefully help some individual or two in the process. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. So walking on the path of good is very lonesome and very dejecting, depressing even. But we should not grow weary while doing good, because eventually we will reap greatly. We just should not lose heart. Verse 9. Now verse 10 of chapter 6, Galatians. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all, especially to those who are of the household of faith. So those Christians were trying to do good to us by sharing the message and sharing their lifestyle with us, but we didn't want to follow their rules and their way. So they chose to focus their energies on the household of faith more, which made us jealous, I guess. But they were right to do that according to the Bible. And they don't mean people who belong to a group, because most people think they belong to a group, but they don't know that they're just programmed robots. So to find the household of faith, it's not as simple as just asking them what religion they are. It takes a deeper and more thoughtful inquiry. See with what large letters I have written to you with my own hand. So now he's saying that he paid the cost to be the boss, so you better listen up. As many as desire to make a good showing in the flesh, these would compel you to be circumcised. So many desire to make a good showing in the flesh, but having that motivation will cause the others to make you submit to circumcision. In my case, it was social castration. How dare I hit on a female who's presenting herself as a sexual good to everybody? Nah, you gotta be circumcised and follow the righteous way. You're not one of those dirty people now, are you? Only that they may not suffer persecution for the cross of Christ. So, if you don't follow their compelling for circumcision, they will persecute you for the cross of Christ. That's how I see it.